Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 28th of March, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been convicted in a court of law yet. Apply the but for and reasonable person standard. And we assert all constitutional rights, especially the First Amendment. We have the right to tell when somebody's hurting us and document stalking. We also have the right to, so a lot of people get stalked. A lot of people talk about it. You saw Polly Peretti, TikTok girl, Lo or whatever her name is. Lori Bory is her account on TikTok. Sandra Bullock. I mean, so many women, the Me Too. So this is that. We're not going to be selective prosecution and all that crap. A lot of people use the F word, Mr. Powell, Mr. Perry. I mean, you guys are something. I get threatened every day with false arrest and death and loss of income, property, every fucking day. Mr. Perry threatens and harasses and threatens and harasses. He can't get a date. He doesn't have any power. So in 12 years, there's not been one date. But guess what? He's a hated man right now for putting people through what he's putting them through. So we get recordings like this all day yesterday. Recording after recording after recording. Mr. Perry and his people get her car, get her kicked out. We can't wait a week. Make them lock her out right now. Can we get a look at her driver's license? Does she have her phone password protected? Mr. Perry's typing in my phone this morning. Eat. I'm sad. You're going to be arrested again. But you say that every day, Mr. Perry. There's not a day that goes by that you don't threaten me with those things. Every fucking day. He's hacked my phone. He types in right in it over it. I mean, there's been times where I've typed an email and sent it and didn't realize that he changed some of the words while I was typing the rest of it. It pisses me off. He'll jam things up. He's jammed up my Uber Eats app and my, I've signed up for 4 different food delivery services, and he'll jam them up so I can't make any money. And he's locked me out of my ClickBank account. He's been recorded talking to my parents. They owe me a lot of money. He's been recorded talking to them, telling them not to give it to me, him and David Robertson. So we've documented this and documented this and documented this. And the other, of course, we don't have to assert constitutional rights. We just have them. But we're going to assert them anyway because it's Mr. Perry. We also have the right to not be entrapped. I'm going to provoke you. I'm going to piss you off. And then when you talk about it, I'm going to claim I'm the victim. Nope, you are the aggressor, and everyone knows that. And you are not to call my landlord. You guys are violating international law in ways you don't even know right now. Mr. Perry has an exploitation business. And so we assert equal protection, Violence Against Women Act, domestic violence laws, anti-voyeurism laws, anti-hacking laws, anti-peeping laws, anti-stalking laws. You're at coercion, Title 18, United States Code 1512 and 1513. I have the right to not be harassed by you. So what happens in 12 years of him doing this to me? He never gets a date. There's never been a date. He'll never get a date. He makes my skin crawl. I don't like the guy. Why would I? He's a very destructive, sadistic piece of trash. And he's been caught since he fucked with me. Because he's done this all his life. He hid all this crap all his life. He seems, when we put these things out that they've been talking about, he acts like he has no idea what's happening. So we have doctors that are very concerned about his mental stability. He has to have same thing repeated every day, and he doesn't get it. And it's like he doesn't respond right, ever. So our shrink is like, there's police investigating him. They're the ones getting this to me. He acts like he doesn't understand what that means. Most people would be deterred, right? If you got police investigating you and you're getting quoted all the fucking time, every damn day. So, I don't know who called about this. I use the F word, and that she uses the F word. Yup, and my concern, the guy said, is not about the F word. You know what my concern is? The loss of life. Why do we have women and children with no home and no food? Why everybody's worried about Cynthia? Why are you doing this to her? And you're calling me about her use of the F word? You're going to piss her off when you try to take her house away and her money away. So she's going to say, fuck you. What do you think was going to happen? A lot of people say it. What about it? What about it? You want to look at my driver's license? There was a long discussion about where exactly I keep that. which only a peeping Tom would know. That was recorded, Mr. Perry. You guys get caught. You don't get a date. You get told on. And you always want to know who told on me. None of your business. And you know what? You need to shut up. We're all sick and tired of hearing about what you think and what you feel and what you need. And you want to lie. So I guess, and they've been recorded repeatedly. We got to get her kicked out of her house. Get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Recording after recording after recording after recording after recording. Who has those, Mr. Perry? What law enforcement agency has those? If they tell us to put that out, whether it's me or someone else, it doesn't concern you. We're told to put it out. It's going out. What are you going to do? Whine and cry that you got caught? Whine and cry that you're a victim because somebody told on you? You can't get a date. You don't have any power. If you had power, you would know what women like and do what women like. Our shrink long ago told the judge if he finds out she hates something, he'll do more of it. That's not what you do to get a date. Your Honor, you're happily married. I'm happily married. We know that what we did is try to do things our spouses enjoyed, things they like, to make them happy, to attract them. Mr. Perry does everything she hates. He does everything women hate. He has a seething hatred towards women. Because when you like women, you do what women like. He enjoys the company of deviant men. He's a sadist. He enjoys harassing women, torturing, tormenting, and starving women. And then he goes and does his thing with deviant men. And again, I'm talking about crime causation here. BTK enjoyed the same. Torture, torment, kill. Bind, torture, kill. Sex crimes. Sex homicide. Sicko shit. Sicko shit. Most people can't even begin to imagine why in the fuck anyone would do that. Criminology, crime causation, not lewd and lascivious, Mr. Powell. You guys are not thinking right. None of you respond properly to what's happening. Our shrink is questioning the sanity of all of you. Because I drive through Yale, Oklahoma, on my way to work from Tulsa to Tulsa to Stillwater. You got to go through Yale. You go through Yale, there's like 3 to 5 police officers with not a damn thing to do but write you a ticket. So I got a ticket twice in one day, on my way to work and then on my way home. I asked the second one, can you please not give me a ticket? This is my second one. And you know what he said to me? Absolutely not. You are getting a ticket and you are not going to speed through my town again. I paid the ticket and never sped through his town again. I learned my lesson. When you get caught, most people are smart enough to then respond appropriately to what just happened. What just happened is I got a ticket for speeding. I broke the law. I was cited for it. I had to pay a fine. You're breaking the law. You're getting told on. You're about to go to jail. When you're in jail, I won't be peeped on anymore. I'll have my privacy back. I'll have my reputation back. Mike Nealey goes home. He's going home, whether you like it or not. He's going home. There is no way you can beat someone to death and have nothing on you to indicate you were in any fight at all. His hands would look like he was in a fight. His hands would look like Chief Miller's face looked. You could have come out and said, we didn't do that murder or the vandalism to the car. And she's correct. There's no possible way he could have killed somebody and ended up with nothing on him. I just filed the vandalism report on my car 6 days before. So, we don't want that suspicion on us at all. What we're going to do is help him get home and find out who really did this. But what you did instead is try to make me get kicked out of my house, take all my money. I did a week with no electricity and no food. I would do it again, by the way. I'm about to do it again, aren't I? It's called witness tampering, coercion. You cause intentional duress, intending to coerce someone to change their testimony or their court statement. You do it every day. When you type in my phone, go eat, I'm sad, we're going to have you arrested again today. Every fucking day, we're going to kill you. We're going to have you arrested. We're going to take all your money. We're going to get you kicked out of your house. And we're going to make you, against your will, go back to Texas so we can do more to you to cause you harm. Or you lie, because you are going to lie for me. That ship sailed, bitch. You are not all there. This is why the doctors are all concerned. You might have Alzheimer's badly. You never respond right to what's said. Because instead of that deterring you, and by the way, I won't be broke again and I won't have to lie when they arrest you. They're going to arrest you. The guys that got me the Fabian puzzle in jail, Mr. Perry, they will put you in jail. This is international. It takes longer. What the witness said is, as long as I've known Mr. Perry, he trolls women. He travels by himself. He won't take his wife with him, Jackie. He won't take Jacqueline with him. Nobody knows what the hell he's doing. By the way, who's Mary Beth? What country is she from, Mr. Perry? Who's Monique? What country is Mary Beth from? See, those are questions you need to answer before you start threatening me. I'm not going to get into that. Exactly what that's all about right now. Mr. Perry knows exactly what that's about, don't you? I'm involved in a police investigation, sir. I know a whole lot more than you think I do, if I'm quoting you. So there's international law. That shit takes a while, and it's pissing us off that it's taking so long because we want Mr. Perry in jail so he can't torture, torment, and starve women and children to death anymore. I will have my privacy back. I'll have my reputation back, and I will never be broke again. And I won't have to spend my life being creeped out by a weirdo like you. You're creepy. Every day, all day. What are you going to do when you have to explain? How did you live your life? Everybody has to answer that question at some point. What'd you do with your time? The talents God gave you? How did you live your life? I sat around and bothered people all day and caused catastrophic, profound loss they'll never get over. Made everybody hate my guts. I was a creepy little weirdo who bothered and pestered and bothered and pestered and bothered every day. Women don't like that. You're a turnoff. Women don't like being peeped on. That's why it's illegal. See, these are reasons why the shrink thinks that you have something very wrong with you. Because most people don't have to be told that if it's illegal. That means people decided they don't like it when you do that, and you go to jail if you do that. It's not tolerated in a civilized society. Every guy doesn't do what you do for a reason, sir. That didn't occur to you? That maybe you can't get a date because you're a strango? Because you're breaking the law? You're offending everybody? You're pissing everybody off? We're all sick of you? We're all sick of hearing about it? We don't want anything to do with you. I don't want a fucking thing to do with you. I moved twice to get away from you and not have any conflict at all with anyone. You're a troublemaker. How'd you live your life? Sat around all day on my fat, lazy ass, perverting around, causing problems? Wow, okay, that's your legacy? That's the best you can do? Where's the power in that, sir? Yeah, go be normal. Act like you understand what's being said and what's happening. None of you act like you understand what's happening. You want to know how we got all this? Who's doing it? Who has these recordings? I don't have them. They're played for me. I'll type it up what it says. All day yesterday. Because, again, the more Charles invades my privacy, the more problems he causes for me, the more he contacts me in any form at all. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you, Connie. You're a little butt in, aren't you? I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. Why do you not shut the fuck up? We're sick of hearing it, sir. Everybody's sick of hearing it. So the more he does that, causes financial problems for me, the more of these we get. Yesterday was busy. Man, all I did all day was type up recordings I was hearing from police playing it for me. So which law enforcement agency has that, Mr. Perry? You're going to jail. You're not going to bother me again. And I'm not going to have to lie or be creeped out by you. And I won't ever be broke again. And the more you cause problems for me, the more of these we get. It was busy. Get her car. Where's the title? Get a look at her driver's license. Is her phone password protected? I'm not worried about the F word. What I'm worried about, Mr. Powell, is the loss of life. Why are women and children losing their homes and hungry? And that should concern you too. And I'm concerned about you, that it doesn't concern you. Why would it not concern you, sir? So, Um, the witness says he trolls women, puts cameras in their homes when they're not there. He finds divorced women with children. When they're not home, he buys the landlord and or the maintenance guy, or gets a locksmith, gets in, puts a camera in, and broadcasts these women all over the world, all over the dark web. Sells watch time, makes a profit off of their body, off of their property, off of their utilities. And he gets them fired from their job. He'll hack them too. Then he makes sure they can't find another job and they're broke and they can't pay their bills and they lose their home. Then, now they're unfit. Then he has the ex take the kids away. Can you imagine what that does to a child's life? And your guy says, we've never had one figure out, we have cameras in their house. We've never had one figure out we're the cause of the problems. We've never had one bill us. Yeah, I sent you an invoice. You owe me money. $1,000 a day for getting entertained, using my body, my property, my utilities against my will. Making a profit off of my body, off of my property, off of my utilities against my will. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Nobody has my consent to talk to you or violate privacy laws giving you any information at all, sir. So now the landlord has a problem. You're violating international law, landlord. Jesus. Do you understand what's happening, Mr. Perry? And the guy said, and we've never had one solve a murder we committed to cover all that up, like Chief Miller and almost dead framed Mike Nealey, who is accused of beating someone to death, but oddly has not an injury on his person at all, but for a busted nose and lip that happened in a second event after Chief Miller was already deceased. And we are pissed at you for putting him through what you are putting him through. And you are a fucking hated man, Mr. Perry. You are hated. You all are. You need to understand what I'm saying. When we get these, that's why. It's not hard to get this information. There are wiretap orders. There are leaks. I'm not told who has what on who. I'm not told who the confidential informants are. What I'm told is that if we can get this, we got our ear to the ground in a lot of places. Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, Mr. Roberson, Calvin, Josh, Joe, all these men are extremely hated right now, very hated, for putting people through so much suffering. And everybody wants us to hurry up and get this over with and stop it. When you're told on, you're being stopped. You don't get a date. In 12 years, there's never been a date. But you're told on and told on and told on. And you act like you have no idea what that means. We don't even know what to say to that. My guy tells me last night, normally with this thing, I can tell what the goal is of the person that we're investigating. I know the goal. These people, for now 6 years since the McNamara email, get caught and go right back at it. Get caught and go right back at it. And get caught and go right back at it. And the more they do, the more we get. And the more they do, the more we get. The more they do, the more we get. I have not even ever seen anything like this in my life. So, if their goal is a cover-up, how? How is that the goal? Because every day they provoke. Every day they piss us off. When she has no money and no food and her privacy is violated and Mike's in jail and Cynthia has bills that are behind, her privacy is violated and she's tormented and pestered and contacted by Mr. Perry and hacked, peeped on. We all get pissed. We get to work. I'll call guys in that are off. He's making another threat. I'm going to put you back in jail until you change your mind and lie for me. I'll find a way. You were recorded telling Fabian that in 2016. I will find a way to put her back in jail and she won't get out this time unless she's with me. You give up. Here's the thing. If you wanted me back in Texas, you went to butt into that. You're just a butt in. You're not wanted. You're a little butt in. And guess what? When I told my cop friends what I wanted, Fabian makes me hope. They got it the first time. I only had to say it once. So these guys are like, it's been the same thing every day. You know, they fuck with you. You're bait, not a victim. They can't figure that out by now. The McNamara email is about a false arrest and coercion. Your intent. You expressed intent. Only in that one you included my son too. And you got caught because you did it. False arrest. Can't get a date. No power. Pathetic. So he says they do the same thing every day that gets the same results. Perry pisses Cynthia off. He's a nasty, weird little fuck. He can't get a date. There's no way. There's no way I'd go out with somebody like you, weirdo. I said, don't contact me, didn't I? I moved twice to get away from you. Sued and sued and sued. You're getting kicked off and kicked off and kicked off and kicked off. You don't have a woman trying to get with you. You have a woman fighting you off. You're a rapist. It's a form of rape. I've been physically raped, and this is the same. It feels the same. I'm traumatized every day. You're a sex offender. Peeping Tom is a sex offense, sir. You watch little kids in their house, that's child pornography. Do you understand what's happening? You're getting caught. All of you are. If we quote what you just said, you don't think you're getting caught? If you have to ask me who told on you, you confessed. You just want to know how I found out. So, that's what this is. Like all day yesterday, that's all I did is type all this shit up. They're playing for me on my secured phone. And if they tell me to put it out or they tell someone else to put it out, it's none of your business, is it? You're obstructing justice, sir. Again. That seemed to be your thing. So he has on this page there's a lot of other links that are valuable about stalking women and children. Coercion. Cause duress, make her lie. Cause duress, make her lie. Cause her duress, make her lie. Make her change her story. Make her change her story. Make her lie against her will. Make her go back to Texas against her will. If you really wanted me in Texas, you had to butt out of the whole Fabian thing, right? Yeah. Anyways, so our guys are like, because they do the same thing every day that gets them the same results, we get more of this stuff. It gets easy. People are getting so pissed at him for putting her through this. And the longer Mike sits in jail, that it gets easier by the day to get all this. It's very easy to get it. That's what happens every day, not a date. So we're not even sure at this point what the goal is. Because if you want to cover up, then you do things to try to cover things up. They do everything to provoke and get told on every day for 6 years. So we're not sure even what their goal is, because they're not doing anything that you would see somebody normally do who is trying to achieve the goal of a cover-up. This is the most uncovered up cover-up we've ever seen in our lives. We've not seen people act like this before. Get caught and go right back at it. Get caught and go right back at it. Get caught and go right back at it. For 6 years every day. Every fucking day. We don't even know what to say. And I guess you guys were calling around police departments asking who's helping her? Who's helping her? Who's helping her? Yeah, okay. So I guess you called some of them. You shouldn't have. So we got one guy that used to be in New Mexico. It's somewhere else now. Calls my guy. And he says, you're not going to believe this. One of my people says, you know that chaplain that used to be here in New Mexico, Lynn Hall? He was our chaplain for actually for more than one police organization. I think state police, I think sheriff's department. That's my dad, actually. He said, yeah, why? You know those guys in Texas have a sex exploitation business, killed a cop, and she caught it. Lynn's kid caught that. And he said, no shit. Son of a bitch, you're kidding me with this. He goes, no, she caught it. Lynn's kid. Lynn's daughter caught it. They want to know if we're helping. And I was like, nope, we're not helping. I wish we were, but we're not. So they want to, he said, I'm calling to see if it's you. And he goes, yeah, it is us, but you can't tell anybody that. I mean, who do you think you're fooling? Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? It's the other way around. You're not all there. You're like not operating with a full load. You don't torture and torment and starve women and children and think they're going to like you. You don't peep on them and think they're going to like you. So that's why our guards are like, if he's okay, he says he wants a date and he says he wants a cover up. But yet every day for 6 years, he does everything she hates. And the more she says she hates it, the more he does. He's offending people. He's pissing everybody off. So then everybody starts talking because they're mad. Why is he doing that to her? Why is he doing that to her? Why in the fuck would anyone do that? We're not worried about the F word. We're worried about women and kids that have no place to live and no food to eat. Why in the hell are you worried about the F word? We're worried about loss of life. What is wrong with you? A lot of people say the F word. Get over it already. So, you're doing that shit to her. She's going to use the F word. I would too. Reasonable, prudent person is, what would you do if it was you? How embarrassing that you behave the way you behave. So he goes, he's doing everything to repulse her. And everything to provoke everybody, to piss him off and get him talking. So what is the goal? We don't even know. It's been like this every day for 6 years. You don't hurt people and expect them to help you. They're going to turn against you. And you ought to know that at your age. Most people never have to be told that, much less over and over and over and over, and you still don't get it. You go right back at it. And nobody understands that. Nobody understands that. It is the weirdest fucked up thing we've ever seen. That's what the guy said. I have never seen this before in my life. He can't control himself. If you think about Ted Bundy was in jail for murder. He's going to trial. Sneaks out the courtroom window. Goes to Florida. He already knows he's in trouble. He's already in trouble. He snuck out of jail. What'd he do? Kidnapped a 12-year-old little girl. And murdered her. And got caught. Again. He already knows the spotlight is all over him. He knows police are looking for him. He knows all that. And he did it anyway. Because he has no control over himself. He had no control over his impulses. Serial killers, criminals, low IQ, and no impulse control, criminologists tell us. Grandiose thinking. Right? There's traits of a serial killer. Who is Mary Beth, Mr. Perry, and what country is she from? Who is Monique? What country is she from? See, we already know the answer to that. What'd you do to him? What'd you do to Mary Beth? Sometimes goes by Beth. Dumped at a lake just outside Billings. I Google it after hearing that recording. Sure as shit, there's a lake just outside Billings. What country is Mary Beth from? She's not American. Where's she from? You said that you drugged her or overtook her somehow, subdued her. And as you're leaving with her, she's not yet dead. She's just drugged. You said you ran into a couple that said and told them, she's drunk, I'm taking her home. I'm talking to Randy Reeves. You and Randy go to a men's prayer breakfast because you like to pretend you're a Christian. On the 15th of September, 2011. Where randomly you mention you've just been in Montana. And both of us are all confused as to what the hell that had to do with anything. The comments did not fit the rest of the conversation. What about Steve Jones? What about David Nielsen? Were those accidents? Or did you cause something? What about Justice Scalia, who is a defender of the First Amendment? Flag burning is free speech. While I'm in jail, you're planning, we're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her. And when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. It was all over that jail because you pissed everybody off. Nobody likes it when you're mean. People don't like cruelty. Do you understand that? That's what you seem like. You can't understand words said to you, and you never respond appropriately. And you got a lot of doctors very concerned. You never respond right. Like, maybe stop speeding through Yale. Duh. You guys go right back at it. So, and then you complain when here we go. Yeah, I typed up all that shit yesterday, all fucking day. See if you can get her driver's license. Is her phone password protected? Yeah, that's what matters. Not people's lives. Not an officer down in need of assist. Not an officer who lost his life in the line of duty and instead has been made to sound like he just got killed in a drunk brawl. Yeah, you pissed a lot of people off with that. So, Justice Scalia is in West Texas. I'm in West Texas. Perry's in West Texas. While they're planning that, all of a sudden Justice Scalia dies. And then there was this weird situation that occurred post-mortem. Procedure wasn't followed, and Commander Murder Cop William O'Ritchie questioned it. How come protocol wasn't followed like it would have been had he died in D.C.? What the hell's going on in West Texas? Yeah, another suspicious death right around you. Serial killers have grandiose thinking. So do you. Everybody owes you something. I'm going to ruin your life, and you're going to lie for me. And you're going to let me. And I'm the one that has stood up to you and said, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. You're confused. I don't think you know who I am, and you don't know who I know. But you're seeing things happen you've never seen before. We need pastors her and takes her money. Things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. How does she always find out? You're under investigation, dumbass. And you never respond right. If I'm driving down the street and I have a police officer right behind me, you think I'm going to speed? Shit, no. Well, why do you? That's what you do. That's kind of the same thing. You got cops all over you, and y'all do it anyway. Gold mine of crime. Gold mine of crime. Grandiose thinking. So, what about Todd Reno? Did he really commit suicide? Because he was like 3 days away from a date with your daughter. What were you afraid they would talk about? I tried to work with Todd on a fundraiser for CASA. He's on the board. You told him not to. Jordan, your daughter, saw you very nearly kiss me in a room full of people. It was the weirdest thing I've ever had happen in my life. So, were you worried they would talk about that? Because I didn't know Todd. I talked to him briefly about this fundraiser, but I didn't know him. But I had a lot of friends that knew him pretty well. They were all confused. Todd's not the suicidal type. He was going through some struggles. We all go through struggles. Let me tell you something. Life has struggles. Most people rise to the occasion and they combat them and they overcome them. It's very unusual for someone to make think that a solution to a temporary situation, is death, permanent solution to a temporary situation. Most people don't do that. They don't even think about it. So that's what they were talking about. I don't think Todd he's not the suicidal type. That's not really who he is. So we're not sure. I'm shocked. I can't believe this. I called Jeff Klotzman, also serves on the board of CASA, and he's a Fox News anchor and a friend of mine. I didn't tell him my suspicions at the time. All I did is say, I don't know, Todd. Everybody seems a little confused as to why he would commit suicide. What is your opinion? What is your take on that? He really couldn't say, Mr. Perry. So how many people is that? David Nielsen, Steve Jones, were those accidents or not? Or did you make something happen? Did you cause a problem for them? You thought they were a leak? Chief Miller, you've tried to kill me and Mike. You've tried to kill me more than once. Justice Scalia, Mary Beth. I mean, how many are there? You got land in Midland. Whose name is that in? Your mom's? What better way to get back at your mom than have a piece of land with her name on it, a bunch of dead bodies? Right? That's what you want to subjugate me for, because I know what you've done. I know who you are and what you've done. And you can use allegedly because nobody's been convicted in a court of law yet. But there's a whole lot of things I'm pretty well versed on as to what your background is. You're not used to being confronted and kicked off, are you? You're not getting a lie. You're not getting a lie. You sure shit are never getting a date. You're a serial killer. 3 or more, the FBI says. I've heard the recordings of you talking about trying to kill me. Go send her out to her job. Fake up a medical emergency. She'll help. then tell her the person she's helped has an illness and she'll need a shot or she'll get it too. And I heard the hitman ask you, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said, you make sure she takes the shot. Make her think she'll die if she doesn't. I didn't go. My guys are telling me, don't go. How much money did that cost me? How many times has that happened? Right, you're in a lot of trouble. You want to provoke some more? Wow. Again, not the right response for what was just said, sir. This isn't about a date. This is about a cover-up. But you do everything to piss everybody off and get them talking. You don't have a cover-up, and now our guys are like, we didn't even know what their goal is. Normally, we'd know the goal. Because you can see them think, you want your teeth clean, you go brush your teeth. You want food, you go to the grocery, buy food. The goal is, I want food at my house. The actions are, you go to the grocery and you buy it. The goal is, I need my teeth clean. So you walk in the bathroom and you get your toothbrush and you brush them. Those are the actions. Your actions are to provoke, piss everybody off and get told on. Every day since the McNamara email, you do the same thing. If your goal was a date, you would do what women like. You don't do what women like. You do every disgusting, creeped out, weirdo, piece of shit, asshole thing. Cruelty after cruelty after cruelty. Not how you get women to like you. So it's not a date. And a little dancer, a little girl, I danced with that Godiva's ass, said that. These guys came in to my work, asked me and my coworkers, make her and Fabian not like each other. That's not my job. That's his job. Guess what? I've dated. Some guy is nice to me, wants to take me to dinner, sends me a Snapchat message or a text and says, let's hang out. Let's go to dinner. He's in here telling me I have to make you like him, not to allow you to talk about Fabian, to act like I don't care if you bring it up. Well, he knows we care, or he wouldn't have to tell us to act like we don't care. So he's full of shit. That guy's a weirdo. I can see why you don't like him. He said that he just put you in jail, and he'll do it again. If you won't change your mind, we are to look for ways to help him do that. What the hell happened to dinner and movie? What the hell is this? This is not about a date. And I've never seen so many old guys with money shit themselves when Fabian's name comes up. They're scared to death of him. What the hell happened in Dallas? What happened? What is going on? It's not about a date. There's no way. What's really this about? Yeah. She's a young girl. If you think that, she figured it out. She goes, my family's all fucked up. I had to drop out of high school. So I have, I'm not that, if I can figure it out, even I know this is wrong. Even I know this is fucked up. And I came here to work. I didn't come here to get pulled into something like this. What is it? What even is it? What did they get me in? You're pissing everybody off, Perry. Your cruelty. In man's kindness brings blessings. His cruelty will be his downfall, and I have not seen that be more true than in this situation right now, here today. Nobody asks you what you think. No one's going to help you, and it's been that way for years, and you can't get that by now? We're sick of hearing what you think. The more you talk, the more mad we all get. Shut up. Shut the hell up. Get a life and get out of mine. What'd you do with your life? Sat around on my fat, lazy ass, perverting around, causing problems, and getting told on. Going to jail. Why do you think we're doing all this? Because we're bored? Yeah, nope. That ain't it. See, you don't respond properly to what is said. And you threaten me with jail, death, economic and property loss every fucking day. And we are sick and tired of it. And the more you do it, the more of these we get, sir. Everybody's sick and tired of you. Everybody hates your guts. I've not seen a more hated man than you are right now, but for, Scott Peterson. Leave me the fuck alone, you Looney Tune freak. You have no chance of a date with me in 12 years for the actions that you take every fucking day. You don't get a date. You get rejected and told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. And how much money could I make had you not taken up all my time yesterday? Right? Right now it's about life and death. I got to preserve my life. I got to preserve my safety and my well-being. And help these guys get this wrapped up so you're in jail and we don't have to deal with it ever again. That's our goal. No one's gotten closer to it than we have in your entire lives. And you act like you don't get that. Never the right response to what was just said. Ever. He never gives the right response. Our shrink said. The guys yesterday or day before, I can't remember, were like, that blows my mind. I don't even, oh my God. He calls the shrink and she goes, doesn't surprise me at all. I nailed it. And Mr. Perry doesn't even try to prove me wrong. And if he doesn't even try, he can't. He's not able. He's not capable of processing what's happening and then responding appropriately, which would be, leave me alone. Because when I go through Yale and get a ticket, especially twice, guess what happens? I go through Yale again, I don't speed ever again. And you're not smart enough to figure out that when you're told on, you're pissing everybody off. People hate your guts once you stopped. And so maybe you should stop by yourself. You can't, can you? You don't have any control. You don't have any power. You're just pathetic and weak. You're controlled by your weirdo disease. You're like the cancer, Mr. Perry, killing and destroying, and I'm your radiation and your chemo, and you are not smart enough to get that. I'm not a victim, I'm the bait. I throw the net out, here come your sharks, pull it in the boat. All right, got some more. It's a gold mine of crime. Gold mine of crime. And those guys were all, guess who, they killed a cop, guess who caught it? Lynn's kid, she caught it. Wish they want to know if we were helping. I wish we were. You don't know how people in law enforcement think. I mean, you got your guys on the payroll. They're going to do what you want. But everybody else has a way of thinking. It's not like you. It's not like you at all. We all have to account for what we do with our lives and our time. And any police officer that would help you, I feel bad for them. The best you can do is be the bitch of a sex weirdo, this Sheriff Rowan in this deal. You see the Clarice episode? I think it's episode 2, season 1. I'm a little bit Clarice, a little bit Brenda Lee Johnson, a little bit Katniss. Rolled into one person. If you want to get to know who I am and how I think, that's what you do. Watch that. If you're too stupid to just get to know me. What did he say? Sheriff Rowan is my bitch. She said, he's a lawman. He has the law. He can hurt you with it. No. Sheriff Rowan is my bitch. I own him. Wow, that's the best you can do in your career in law enforcement. And when you have to stand before God, what are you going to say? What'd you do with the talents in your time? What'd you do with what I gave you to use to do good in the world? Relieve suffering caused by crime. Well, we helped the sex weirdo hurt people. We starved women, children. They lost their homes. They didn't have anything to eat. And that's what we did with our time. Sat around, perverting, causing trouble, causing problems, and getting told on. Jesus. Wow. God help you. If that's the best you can do with your life, in your time, and your talents, is that? How embarrassing. We all have to account for it. When we die, we have a legacy that we create one day at a time. What is wrong with you that you would do that? Women and children. Do you understand what that means? The rest of the internet, you heard of human rights? Human rights violations, Mr. Perry. You're violating them. It's international law here because you do it all over the world. So what is the liability for my landlord for contributing to your international crime? What are the international laws they're subjected to? Do they even know? Did you explain that to them before you did all this? We will. Yeah. When I say, get out of my life, you sick son of a bitch, then what part of that do you not understand, Mr. Perry? If you're watching TikTok Girl and you see all the people comment how disgusting his conduct was, and you're worse, you can't figure out what that means and respond appropriately, I assure you nobody gives two fucks what you think. We're sick of hearing it. You're a hated man right now. So, with that in mind, you do what you do, Mr. Perry. Point out for me the injuries on this man that indicate he was in any fight at all. His hands would look like Chief Miller's face. And I'm a witness, and you're tampering with a witness, you sick son of a bitch. Coercion is a crime. I assert my equal protection rights against witness tampering, violence against women, domestic violence, anti-voyeurism, anti-stalking, anti-hacking. Get the fuck out of my life and shut up. We're sick of hearing it. You need a lie. I think that was already addressed. She did say beforehand he was going to false arrest me, and then he did. And then she did say she knew Mike Nealey was drugged, and sure shit he was. So what the fuck is she supposed to lie about now? She said he was going to take her car in her home, try to force her back to Texas so he can do more to her. What's she supposed to lie about? If he keeps doing what she says, it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? You're not responding appropriately to what is happening. You have no idea, do you? Yep, we got doctors think you need to be in a nursing home, sir. There's nothing on him. He was drugged. I said it. I said it in March 2020. I emailed the Florida State's attorney. You got the wrong guy. The right guy is still out offending, still making victims, while you sit there and lie in a court of law. Sir, you have a duty to disclose material facts before the deciding body. And if you don't, you are committing perjury. And if you do it willfully and knowingly with malicious intent, it's even worse, sir. It's worse. This is an officer down in need of assist. I have done without a lot of shit because you don't leave a man behind. You get him out. If there's a Bank of America shootout, bank robbery, they didn't just leave people. If they could get them out, they got them out. You know you're going to get hit. You know that. It's part of it. What kind of pussy doesn't help their cop family? I come from 4 generations. I've done without a lot. I've gotten hit and hit and hit and hit and hit, and I don't care. I do not care, Mr. Perry. This man deserves to go home. You don't get to have a lie. No one cares what you think. We're sick of hearing it. You need to act like a dude and move on. I come from 4 generations of police. It doesn't get any more cop family than me. You think I'm going to let him just sit there and do nothing? You're off your nut. You really do have delusion problems. You think you're going to threaten me and push and push and push and push and pull and push that Jenga piece? That's me. I'm the Jenga piece. I'm bait. I'm not a victim. You're crazy. You really have lost your minds, all of you. You want to threaten me? You want to threaten me? Maybe you should have an appointment with your attorney and do it to my face, coward. Don't get anywhere near me. You might want to wear a football helmet, because I kid you not, you get near me, I'll beat the shit out of you. You're not going to touch me. There will never be a date. There will never be a hug fest. I will not go where you are and do anything to hurt you, and you know that. You're full of crap with your victim. I'm a bullshit. I guess you have 3 stories you told up here. They tell me. First, he says she's a threat and walks around with an entourage. Well, do you know anybody that goes where the threat is and won't leave? That chick moved twice to get away from him. Paid the owner of the club where she was working $5,000 to avoid the threat he posed at her work. David Robertson texting, yeah, I gave her arsenic. Yeah, I gave her Yeah, I gave her some. Let your life fade away. She was under threat. So, she did say, I'm being threatened with death and false arrest. She said it before he did it. What's she supposed to lie about? Desist keeps doing what she says. Right? You came up here and acted like you were under threat. Oh, I got it. Somebody's trying to hurt me, but I'm up here where the threat is, and I won't go home to where supposedly I'm safe. Lubbock, not here. The guy goes, they can't get him to leave Oklahoma. So first it's that. See, what you do normally, if there's a threat, you avoid that place. Like she's paid $5,000 to avoid having to go to work. And you got to go to work to eat and pay the bills. I had a kid. I was raising a child. Alone. And he walks around with an entourage. It's a little bit much, don't you think? But what's really happening is the guy's running a fantasy through his head where he's important. Because everyone knows in Lubbock he's really not. He's one of the smallest districts in Texas. 86% Republican. You're not important unless you could be flipped. And you're a bigger district. You don't have a lot of pull. 3% of the state population. 86% Republican. And if it was a bigger district, they might move a company in from California to change the demographics, which that's what they'd have to do in order to get somebody in your position that would be a Democrat. So what's the point of me? I mean, I didn't do Texas legislation. I don't give a shit about you. I already knew people to call had I done Texas legislation, but as it turns out, I did not. I didn't need you. That's the other thing he said. There's no evidence of a political vendetta. And he went into court with a straight face and said there was, knowing that was bullshit. Concealed the material fact from that court that she had to file a police report. It's the law where she lives. And he knew that because the first protective order was denied because she forgot it. And if you're getting threatened with death and false arrest, you need a fucking protective order. If anybody needs one, I do. You get it, you call the judge and tell him dismiss it. It's starting to be a lot of reviews of any and all legal cases I've been involved in. And when there's something on the docket that says there's supposed to be a hearing, but there's never a hearing, just all of a sudden it's dismissed. Yeah, that's a problem for you. That also links people together that you wish probably weren't going to be linked. Links you to crime. Involving stalking, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. This man didn't kill anybody. There's no way. There's no way. We've never had one figure out where the cause of the problem or solve a murder we committed to cover up our crime. Yeah, I did. Remember that. Please don't ever forget that. When you start threatening me, remember who it is you're talking to. Our goal is you're in jail and your crime is stopped and there is no more suffering. Nobody's gotten closer to it than me. Don't forget who you're talking to. Don't ever forget that, Mr. Perry, when you start threatening me. Calvin, don't forget it. No one's done what I've done. I'm the Jenga piece. You start pushing and pulling me, your whole thing gets wobbly, doesn't it? That ought to deter you. Normally, it would. Any logical, reasonable, prudent individual would stop pulling and pushing the Jenga piece at that point. You ought to get it by now, cause and effect. So then the guy says, then he goes and tells everybody that she and him are married. Okay, or dating, or, fiance, something like that. And she won't have a fucking thing to do with him. He's seen with her friends and family and never with her. He's always by himself. So we've got 3 claims Mr. Perry goes up to Oklahoma and makes with not a shred of evidence to support any of them. What kind of whack job is this? Right. Exactly, Mr. Perry. You're making everybody mad. If you're the most hated man right now, you have no idea. All of you. People hate you. It is not hard to get information. Everybody's sick of the suffering you're causing. Most people don't cause suffering because they know people won't like that. If you've studied Kant, Immanuel Kant, to have a pleasant life, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. People do what they want to do. People do things to gain pleasure and avoid pain. And then that includes watching you cause someone else pain. It makes everybody have heartburn and guilt. It is psychological torture, our shrink tells us. When he tells people close to you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, anybody, or even your landlord, do something to hurt her. First of all, he's asking them to abandon all their values and their morals and their ethics. Second of all, their empathy that he doesn't have. That is a weakness we've exploited. Too many bleeding hearts in this room, you said in a meeting. Right. He's asking people to do something they know is wrong. They know it's going to cause pain. And people don't want to feel pain themselves in causing someone else pain. Normally. Not a sociopath or a psychopath. They just want a quick little thrill. But Kant says most people who aren't sociopath or psychopath, who are normal thinking, intelligent human beings, seek to cause other people to have pleasure, not pain. And when you ask a person to do everything that goes against all their DNA and everything they believe in, you are psychologically torturing them. And you're getting your ass kicked because of it. We're sick of it. Everyone hates your guts. You are a hated man right now for what you're doing to me and this man right here and his wife and his young son and my sons and my family. So, you have a choice. Fuck off or expect it to get worse, because we have not let up. The heat is up. It is up high. And yesterday was busy. You want to threaten me? Eat. I'm sad. You're going to be arrested again. Am I? Duly noted for the record. But you say that every day. You tell everybody that. Yeah, you're not responding right. This is the McNamara email. Dated in October. He's going to false arrest me. And where it says I'm the Jenga piece. Well, it says there's a Jenga piece. I'm that. You don't seem to get it. You should. We've got to get her out of Tulsa and into Texas, where we can hurt her more, easier. Kill her and get away with it. Texas, like Justice Scalia. Right? How many Texas Rangers are on your payroll? Texas Rangers are supposed to be the elite. My granddad used to, oh my God, we heard, all we heard is what elite Texas Rangers. Oh wow. Everybody wanted to be a Texas Ranger. Well, how many of them are on your payroll and degraded and dishonored the badge? That's upsetting. It's upsetting to a lot of people, Mr. Perry. Upsetting to a lot of people. In 12 years, you never get a date. You never will. What you get is told on, and we get shit like that. And that is something, isn't it? Who has that recording? Calvin? Who has the recording? What police department has that recording? You're trying to coerce me? We got to get her car. We got to get her kicked out. We got to subjugate. That's illegal. Why would you want to do that if you're not guilty as charged? People do things to kind of show you whether they're guilty or not. Like, if TPD got a report of a missing woman and they go to the person's house and there's one room that smells like bleach and has brand new carpet and brand new paint, they can then ask, when did you do this? Your wife disappeared on January 15th. When did you do this? Oh, on the 17th. Okay, well, we're going to need to get some luminol and see where the blood is, because chances are high this is evidence of a crime right here in and of itself. You destroyed evidence, and in destroying it, you created new evidence. Consciousness of guilt. You can't assert the crazy defense, Charles. You always try to cover it up. You're trying to coerce a lie. Maine's right. You're showing you knew what you did was wrong. You knew it. You knew it was criminal activity, and you did it anyway. And then tried to cover it up. So you can't use the insanity defense like my friend Tanya, who murdered her children and just sat there. She didn't try to clean anything up. She's telling everybody, oh no, they were under threat. I sent them to heaven. I did the right thing. She has no idea she's committed a crime. That is qualifying for that defense. Also, we got a guy that's anticipating your defenses. He's telling me, make sure you bill him. We can't have him go into court and assert the defense. She's a consenting party and she didn't ask for money. Yeah, you're wrong. It is a crime. I'm not a consenting party, and I did ask for money. And there's a reason he asked me to do that now. Last year, actually. I did it last year. So that you can't assert that defense in a criminal case. Yeah, you're in a lot of trouble and you don't get that. You're not able to process information and then respond right. Kind of like this man here. This is the Fabian puzzle, by the way. I got that in jail. Right up under your nose. Boo and sadness depict the fear and sadness we are all sick and tired of feeling. Me is you, your selfish butt-in. Fabian and Hope intersect, don't they? They heard what I said the first time. Why do we have to repeat ourselves and you're still not getting it? It is pathetic. Everybody, you are hated because you're causing problems and loss and drama. And we're sick and tired of dealing with it. As soon as they can, as soon as they get everything, whatever legal bullshit they got to deal with, I'm not told that. You are going to jail. You're not going to hurt me anymore. And I'll have my privacy back, my reputation back. Mike will be home, and I won't ever be broke again. And I won't have to lie for you or be creeped out by you and just icked and slimed by, your shit all over me. You're a cancer killing everything. And I'm your chemo and radiation. Because nobody's caught the crime like we have. That's our goal. We're meeting our goal. Nobody's sure what yours is. Everyone is sick and tired of the same thing being said over and over, and you don't get it. And you are showing our shrink she's right. You're mentally ill, and you've got a mental disability, sick one. And you have no control. You have no power. You're a slave to your impulses. All of you are. Because all of you get caught, Calvin. When I go through Yale, the second ticket I got, boy, howdy, I didn't speed again. So what's wrong with you? That you continue to do the same thing every day and get results you say you don't want. You're full of shit. You do want it, or you'd stop. Right? He's commenting on her clothes. Nobody asked you. We're sick of hearing it. Shut up. What were you asked to do? Get off your lazy ass, Perry. Quit perverting around and go work. You need the alibi. Badly. You need the alibi to prove you're doing anything but what we say. And what are you going to do? Here's what I've done with my life. I sat around on my fat, lazy ass perverting around, bothering Cynthia 24/7. She couldn't get me to shut up. Didn't ask me what I think. She asked me to shut up and go away. Never got a date, just told on. Jesus.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay, it's not clever, it's not cool, it's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm
No, just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm
No, just
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk
Leave
to
me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes.